Hello everyone, welcome back. Angela here again. How are you all doing? It's Friday, the weekend is almost upon us, and yeah, I'm looking forward to some crafting time with you right now, and maybe a little time in the garden this weekend. They say the weather is improving, so yeah. Got a center spread to share with you today. I had fun putting this one together. So without talking too much, I'm going to get straight to it. So I've got it in this signature at the minute, and that is the center spread. What do you think? So I haven't done anything like this before, but I had fun playing with a piece of paper yesterday. And you know, as I've told you, what I start out in my head doesn't always mean that's how the project finishes. So I was going to do two of these back to back. But no, as I got going, I decided, no, I'm going to make smaller ones and do this. So there we go. It looks a lot more complicated than it is, I will say that. Right, so what do we have? We've got a faux envelope here. There's no envelopes involved. This is just paper. But it looks like a bit of an envelope closure. And I've got a pocket over here with a postcard in it. That goes there. Some lovely lace and a pocket at the back here for a large tag. So that's that. And then we've got some pockets on the front here. So we've got these three little bits. Now, I did make these half the size. They're from my ephemera kit, so I do apologize for that if you don't have a printer. It wasn't a planned thing, but I needed some smaller bits. I suppose the bigger ones would have fitted in here as well. I've used this cluster that we made in the last video, so that's what I've stuck on there. So that was easy. And then again, just put some other goodies on the other side here. This actually comes from my mini journal, my mini bee journal. So I did use some of those bits as well. All right, so again, these were from the mini bee journal, and I've put them in here. And this was from my ephemera packs. There we go. So I think these are also printed half the size. Then I've got these little pockets coming out the side here with these two tags. So that was nice. And I've stuck it onto a backing bit here, which I'll share with you in a minute, which is one of the big pages from the journal kit. All right, so there we go. I think that looked really nice. I've got lots of pockets here. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pockets. And it's nice and flat. That's what I love. And again, I've just used those little bits that we made from the other time. So you're keen to follow along with me? I must show you something. I've got a little secret, and I'll have to deal with that after this video. But look what I've done. Look what I've done. I've stuck it upside down. So don't make that mistake. Yeah, so there's lots of things I could do, but I'm going to reprint this page out, and I'm going to fussy cut around that edge again and stick it on the new one, and take this off and stick it on. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, it's happened. You can see I've stuck it upside down. You see, it happens to everyone. Right, I'm just going to put this one to the side. I'm going to grab the other signature. Now, when you open your book, you won't have had that page there. I've done a little bit of a rearrangement. You would have had that page there, and behind it would have been the cream page. All right, so that's what you would have had. That was over there. Okay, I have just lifted that out, put that in there, and put that over there. So that still matches beautifully, and everything else falls into place. All right, so I just had a little rearrangement. Okay, so I'm just going to take this page out because it's easier to work with it when it's flat, and then show you what you need to do for the rest. All right, so I've got the reverse of this one over here. That's what we're going to do. So for example, if I've used the pink over there, I'm using the green over here, and the pink there, the green there. So I've done that sort of thing to make it simple for you to remember. I did draw myself a couple of pieces of template pieces because it's nice to have these for if you do it again. It makes it much easier. The first time it takes a lot of working out, but after that, once you've drawn it all up and you've got it here, this was my pro forma. All right, so all my measurements are on these. Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Oh, I've got my B cup here. I don't want to tilt it too much. I've got a bit of tea in there still. Look at this B cup. Isn't it too cute? It's my favorite cup. So the B cup can just, it's nearly finished. I don't want to knock it over. Right, let's start at the beginning. So this piece of green at the back here, the backing page, I have cut that out in the raspberry color I'm going to go. All right, now that one has the following measurements. It's called the background pocket page. It is 5 inches by 7 1/4. All right, that equates to about 12.5 by 18.5 centimeters. Okay, so you just want one of those. There it is. Okay, let's put it over there. Right, then the piece that's going to go onto the top. So this bit here, I'm going to do it in green. Okay, that one was the pinky one. And what you want to do here is you want to have this the length of your piece of paper. It doesn't matter if it's 11 3/4 inches or 11. Just cut the width of this, which is what I'm calling the large faux envelope. That is 6.5 inches high. All right, it's all relative to your page, so it doesn't matter. Okay, there we go. 6.5 inches is 16.5 centimeters, there or thereabouts. You want one of those. Okay, so there we go. All right, and then you want to cut 2 of the smaller envelope. So I have gone with this. You need 2 of these in that color, and 1 in the pinky one and 1 in the green for both of them. All right, and here you go, because I did 2 with the same yellow, and then this one's green and that one's pink. Okay, the measurements for this are as follows. It's 4 inches in width. Okay, that's 10 centimeters, and it's 7.5 inches in length. That's 19 centimeters. So all in all, you need 4, 2 for each. Okay, and I've put those there. Right, let's tuck that underneath. That's all that. And as I say, templates are easy. You place it on your paper, draw it around, and there you go. You can roll them out. Right, then I took one of the writing pages, and I've used that as a backing on that one I showed you that there, and then I'm going to stick the other one down on here. Okay, so you want that. That's what you need. And then it's just your ephemera bits. I'll get to that in a minute, and some of those bits and pieces we made. So I'm going to use this one that I made last time for the green, and then these 2 for the smaller envelopes, and I haven't stitched that one. I'll get to that in a minute. All right, then I've got 2 larger tags, 2 smaller tags for each, and 2 postcards. All right, so I've just got that there, and quite a few bits of ephemera over there. All right, so the first thing that you want to do is, I think, let's start with making those envelopes. All right, so I'm going to just move that out the way for the moment. Let's take the big one. All right, so that's 6.5 inches wide, as I said. Right, what I've done is I've found the middle mark there, and that's easily done. You can either just fold it and pinch it. I've drawn a line down the middle in pencil, all right, because it's going to help you in 2 ways. First of all, you want to fold at that center mark, the point, and bring it up to that line. So that's the first way. It's going to make sure that it's nice and straight. Okay, and then just take your bone folder. While we at it, we're going to glue these flaps down. I just want to do the other side as well. Yeah, just use that as the center mark. Line them up over there and press that down. Now you can round off this point if you want, but I'm going to just quickly stick these 2 flaps down. How are you going with your bee journal? Having fun with it? I've really enjoyed it. And I'd love to see what you did with yours. If you are a member of my Facebook group, then share them there with me, you know. If you're not, then come and join the Facebook group. We'd love to have you. Right, now with that one, I didn't round the corner off, but you can. I'm going to just take my little corner rounder here, and I've just rounded that off. There you go. And then you want to just get that like that. All right, so there we go. Now what you want to do is simple. You just want to take the edge of that and match it almost to the edge of that. Just leave a little bit of a gap so that, you know, you can fold this over, but not much of a gap. And then you're just going to fold that over. It's as simple as that. Now we're not going to glue the whole thing down. All right, we are going to trim that eventually. So what I want you to do is to glue the edges. All right, so not the yeah, all three. Sorry, all three. I'll show you why. We're going to trim, but you need to do this first. Right, so it's on the edges. Keep a steady hand, Angela. Don't know why I am all over the place with the lines today. Right, so you've got all three of those sides. You're going to have everything glued down, but just the edges. All right, and you want to just get that lined up there nicely, like that. While we're waiting for that to dry, I'm just going to ink the edges. Just this one and this one. I'm going to come back to this long one, like that. Okay. Right, let's just make sure that's lying nice and flat. All right, now you can take this edge here, fold it up like that. Take your bone folder, give it a good press. All right, so we've got our first one coming together there. All right, now I've got the bee like that, so I might be turning this the other way, so that's okay. We don't have to do everything exactly the same. All right, so that doesn't matter. Right, now what I want to do is I want to stick this down. Now I don't want to stick across here, so I'm just going to go a third of the way down with my glue, a little thin strip of a line, and then I'm going to just make like an arrow of glue, so just there and there, and then I'm going to stick that down. Okay, all right, okay, awesome. We need to get some lace on here as well, so let me grab that. Right, so I've got some lace here and I want to just get that stuck on. If you are going to use this lace that's wider, then stick that down before you put that on, but this is narrower, so that's okay. I just want to get that stuck on across the side here. Put that up there. Okay, so we've got that sorted. Now what I want to do is turn it upside down. It's easier. And I'm going to take my knife, and this is the end opposite the triangle. All right, you want to take your ruler, and you could take your scissors and cut a very fine line off here. There we go. Oops. Squash that one a bit. Is that all right? It is. Okay. So it's just a sliver of a little thing there. And now you can ink that edge. There we go. So this end is now open, and that's for your postcard that's going to go in there. All right. Now, what I will do is I want to get this stuck down onto my pink piece. All right, so I think I have distressed everywhere here. I want to just find the halfway mark, which is here. All right, I'm going to just put a little bit of a thumbtack goodie in there. All right. There we go. And then I'm going to get that stuck on like this. Now, where I have, just so that you're not confused, where I've stuck this one on the left-hand side, I'm going to stick this one on the right-hand side. Okay. So that is going to go a little bit in to this edge and a little bit wider there, like that. And the way I'm going to do that is, yeah, that's right. So a little bit closer there. Just going to put a little pencil mark there and there, just so I know where to place it when the glue is on. Okay, now we are going to make, we're not making this the pocket, although you could. I'm going to make that the pocket, so you can actually just glue all over this here. So we've got that there. Go to those little markers at the bottom. Right, and that's stuck down nicely. Okay, so you've still got your pocket in there, and we will have a pocket at the back over there. Right, now I just need to get a little bit of a fussy cut over there, and I'm just looking in my fussy cut goodies. I think I'm going to stick that one over there. All right. So we'll just do that. Sorry, too much thinking. Okay, so we've got that there. And what else do I need to put on here? Just our little bit over there. So here's this little one. That's going to go on there. And doesn't it just finish it off completely? Love that. Okay. So if you missed this video, I had a video where I show you how I go about doing these. So that was the last video that I did on Tuesday or Wednesday. Right, so we've got that there like that. And having these ready made, it's just amazing. I love it. Right. Little strands coming off there, which is no problem. If I can grip it. There we go. Right, so we've got that bit done. Right, so let's get that stuck down then onto the side. Okay, so there we go. Here's the center line. I don't suppose you can see it too well, but I'm going to get that lined up like that. Now remember, I'm going to put a tag in there, so I want to get this a little bit lower. And again, I'm going to just put these fine pencil marks here, just so that I know where to get that on, and hold it at the top because that's where the glue doesn't go. And then you just want to get some glue down the side here. This again could be a mass make, these envelopes, faux envelopes, you know, and along with all those clusters, you could have them ready to go into all your journals. There we go. We just run that up there, and the first side is just about done. Right, so here's the second side now. We're going to get this stuck down. Now this one touches, I fussy cut this out with my with my scissors, and these two fit really close to the edge here, so you just want to be mindful of that and then get that stuck down. All right, so there we've got it there. Right, so it's coming along nicely. Let's just put our glue pin in there so that doesn't clog up. Right, so we're going to do exactly the same now with these two. And again, it is easier if you draw a line in the center point. So there we go, 4 inches across. So I just want to draw that there, and the same with the other one. And do exactly the same with these. So draw the point up to the line. Stick those down. Alright, and then again you want to just meet the base up there. Alright, now for these we want to have this at the base, so we'll have that folding up like that. And then we've got these are coming out that side. So this is the side that you don't want glue. All right, this side. So you want to put a thin line of glue at the top here. And a thin bead of glue at the base. All right, so that's it. Same on this side. Fold that up. Yeah, and then just right, so again this is the side you don't want the glue on, and then just right, just checking I didn't get the page the wrong way around again. What am I like? Right, and then just squash that down, give it a good burnish. Right, so exactly the same here again. Just a third of the way down with the glue and the top there. All right, and the same with this one. Okay, so we've got those there, and then just very quickly, I'm just going to distress them. Okay, so we've got both of those there, and they're open on that side, which is perfect. Right, so now we want to just grab these two little bits. I think I'm going to put the pink one on there and the green one on there. Something like that. And then I'm just going to take the fabric tack. I'm going to get some of that on here. Right, and then this one I needed to actually stitch it, but I haven't. So there we go. It's glued now. Right, so we've got those two done. Let's move that a little bit up again. And then we are just going to place these where they need to go. So we'll go with this one further down, I think. And I'm moving this slightly over, so I think I've just got my two tags. So I want to just get those in so that I can see how far over they're going to come. I don't want them really to stick out much, so get those in, and then you can see where you need to place them so that they don't stick too far, or they don't have to stick over at all really. And then just place them nicely together. So I think that there and that there looks like a good place. So again, pencil marks are so useful. Don't need to worry about anything on the back here, so I'm just going to stick some glue all over this. Okay, so let's go to those little marks. There's the one, and there's the other. Use your line to make sure you've got it straight. There we go, and then the same with this one. All right, that looks good. Now all we want to do is put our bits and pieces in there. I think that's everything that I needed to put on. Right, so here is your postcard. It's going upside down. That's because I've got the tab on the wrong side now. Didn't think that one through, did I? And then here's the larger tag. That's going to go into the top there. I can always move that over, but it's not a crisis. Right, and then I've got some bits and pieces. So I thought I'd put this in there, Be Kind, with the little, now these came from my mini journal, as I said. Put that in there. That's it. And then I've got a little bee over here, and I've got different ones, so I thought I'd just, these were half the size. I've made them half the size. These are the normal size. Do I want that? I think I'll have that in there instead. So I just had a few, and then I've got others for here. So these little sentiment cards are going to go in here. So I've got that. I've got this. Another little sentiment card. A little beehive. And then I've just got one that says beautiful, and I'm going to just get that over there like that. And there you have it, all done. How cute is that? I like it. I love this. I love a center spread, and I like how this one's turned out. So we've just put them in different sides. So we've got that one there and that one that way. Yeah. Depending which side you start on your paper, you can see, you know, if you start at the back or the front to make this fold, just have a look and see. All right, guys, that's it for today. I wish you a wonderful weekend. May the weather be fabulous. Find time for crafting. Have a relaxing, peaceful weekend. And yeah, go and take a lovely walk in nature if you can. It's so good for the soul. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week. So take good care of yourselves. Bye-bye.